Okay, good morning, everyone. I'd like to open this public hearing on the matter of the application of T-Rex Hyde Park Owner LLC for the financial assistance from the Dutchess County Industrial Development Agency, uh, including the request on behalf of T-Rex Shaner Hyde Park New York Hotel LLC. Before the hearing began, I had the hearing officer mark as hearing officer's exhibit number 1, the notice of public hearing in this matter. I had marked as hearing officer's exhibit number 2, uh, the affidavit of Jenna Jones concerning the publication of the notice of public hearing on the Poughkeepsie Journal's website. And then I have marked as hearing officer's exhibit number 3, the affidavit of the Poughkeepsie Journal for the publication of it in its print edition. I had marked as hearing officer's exhibit number 4, the affidavit of Jenna Jones indicating a notice of the public hearing was served upon Supervisor Eileen Rohr of the town of Hyde Park. This is Aviva Kafka, Superintendent of Schools of the Hyde Park Central School District, and the Honorable Marcus J. Molinaro, Dutchess County Executive. I had marked as hearing officers exhibit number 5 in evidence the April 9th letter of Timothy Dean appointing me the hearing officer to conduct this matter on behalf of Dutchess County Industrial Development Agency. So with that, I will now open the public hearing to someone on behalf of the applicant, Mr. Mulroy, or someone else want to speak to this particular application.
He's muted. Tom, you're muted, Tom.
You're muted, Tom.
Okay, I got it. All right. Well, thank you very much, Donald. And thank you for the time today. Again, this is a matter of a big cost increase across the board for us, and it's just a pro rata ask for the increase in the sales tax exemption due to COVID mainly, and that's really what we're here for today.
Okay, and your application letter for this dated March 9th indicates that the total exemption on behalf of both entities for sales tax exemption, you're looking for the increase of $587,925. Is that correct?
That's the right number. That's right.
Okay, great. Does anybody else want to have anything to say on behalf of the owner? If not, Mr. Beretta, would you like to speak first? We did receive your comment letter, Mr. Beretta, and that will be given to the board with the transcript of the public hearing.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. So, yes, I did submit written comments. Thanks for confirming that you received them. I'm opposed to the granting of the extra financial assistance. There doesn't ever seem to be any limits on this. Applicants, come in, and if the costs increase, they come back for more. I wonder if it ever happens the other way. I haven't seen it yet, where somebody's come in and said, you know what, our costs decrease, we'd like to give a little back. I mean, I don't see that. In general, I feel that these granting of financial assistance or transfer of taxes, to the rest of the tax base. And after attending all the hearings and IDA meetings for over a year now, pretty much the IDA is a rubber stamp for all of these tax exemptions. I've never seen one not unanimously approved. In the month of March, Chairman Dean made quite a speech about how the IDA was, more and more uncomfortable with granting some of these because, they're complicated. And so they're going to look into third-party, professionals to do some additional analysis. But then right away in April, There are 3 projects that came in, 2 for final, 1 for preliminary. They all got approved. No talk about a third party. And in fact, the one that got approved for a preliminary was actually scuttled until the vice chairman, Mark Doyle, realized that they needed 4 votes and he had voted no. And the preliminary approval was scuttled, at which point he quickly asked how he could change his vote. So there was no conviction in his no vote. And once he saw that it wasn't approved, he changed it around. So there's a lot of window dressing here. Everybody gets approved, and it's abusive to the rest of the taxpayers. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Barreto. Ms. Tignanelli.
Yes, good morning. And
morning.
I did just momentarily submit my comments to Ms. Lee, so I'm sure you have those.
Yep.
Okay.
Sarah,
So-
have you received those?
I did, and I just forwarded them to you as well.
Okay, so they will be included in the transcript.
All right, thank you, Mr. Capolino. So I am also opposed to the issuance of any financial assistance to the project in any form. The applicant, Mr. Mulroy's letter to Ms. Lee stated that there were negative impacts to project costs, and that's why he's seeking a revision. But again, you're basically asking the taxpayers to pick up your extra costs, so for a higher profit. So I'm against any assistance expansion. The other thing is there seems to be a conflict that in different job creation numbers. Some materials reference 369, other materials reference 105. And accurate job creation numbers to start out with are important, because you're supposed to be, the IDA, are supposed to be tracking those job creation numbers so that they could be subject to recapture or clawback provisions. But if you're lowballing the number just to avoid clawbacks, that doesn't help the taxpayer. So again, it's unclear about the job creation numbers. And the IDA in 2 audits, one was a New York State Comptroller audit and one was the Dutchess County Comptroller audit, both raised questions about job creation, the tracking of numbers. So again, the whole thing about job creation and tracking seems questionable. And my last comment is about anticipated increase in property tax revenue due to projects. And as I pointed out before, oftentimes the applicant will then come in years down the road and ask for a lowering of the assessed value, which then just transfers the amount to the rest of the tax base. So again, that's given as a benefit, but it's not always an accurate estimate. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your comments. Anyone else have anything to say? Anybody want to add anything?
Sure. This is, if I can, this is Mike Oates. I'm the president and CEO of the Hudson Valley Economic Development Corporation, and we're in strong support of the application. We're facing unprecedented economic challenges due to the global pandemic, and costs have risen over the past year. These types of incentives and support for projects make these projects become a reality. They bring tax revenue, they bring jobs, they bring investment, and they also spur additional economic development that will come and follow the development of this project. So we are again in strong support and looking forward to the project moving forward as quickly as possible.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Oates.
Sure.
Anyone else?
Don, I could add one thing, if that's all right. If I think there was a comment by Mr. Barreto saying that they never come down, the numbers always go up, but these are estimates. And when we don't, if the cost, for instance, of lumber comes down because it's been up 4 times, 400%, if it comes down during the process and our cost, we don't need it, we don't use that extra incentive. So in a backdoor way, it does come down by not using them, if for some reason the costs do come down during the process. But that was a good comment.
Okay, so your point is essentially that these are always maximum numbers. These are ceiling. If you
Yes.
come below that and don't use it, it's never reported.
It's our benefit to make sure these costs are as low as possible.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. With that, I will close the public hearing. Thank you, everyone, for your participation.
Mr. Capolino, could I ask who Steve is? Because I don't have a last name, just for the record.
Steve Geraci, Jeraci. I'm with T-Rex as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye now.
Bye.